It's certainly been a long time coming, but we're back with another entry to the How to Set Up Your Team series. We've gone over the other two colors of cards, but now we get to the heavy hitters, the earth shakers, the heart stopping, elbow dropping, people's champ, the busters. Yeah. You guys have probably already have your own setup, but for those of you who don't, I'll be happy to show you a few tips that will be helpful in your buster endeavors. Welcome, fellow masters. My name is Misaki from Chaldea. Oh, this is How to Set Up Your Team, Buster Edition. There are a few things you need to know about making your Buster team. Do they have 3 or more Buster cards? If so, use them. For a basic Buster meme team, you care primarily about the attack power and the amount of Buster cards in your deck. Noble Phantasms, skills, and craft essence also play a part, but we'll go into that as we move along. Out of all the classes, Berserkers are the only ones that you'll notice have the most Buster cards in their deck, but that is not always the case. As an example, we'll focus on Vlad III for a moment. He may be a 5-star Berserker with 2 Buster cards in his deck, but he has 3 total Arch cards in his deck due to the Noble Phantasm. While he may do fine in a Buster team build, he works far better in an Arch team build that can focus on keeping him alive, feeding his Noble Phantasm, and strengthening his art cards. Yeah, you get it. Buster teams are all about hitting strong and fast, which generally will lead you to using mostly Berserkers, as their decks usually lend themselves to the style of play. However, there are a few wonderful servants outside of the Berserker class that just make the Buster engine go.
This hand of mine glows with an awesome power! Its burning grip tells me to defeat you! Take this! My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow!
Without much delay, let's start with the low star options. Spartacus. Wait, don't unsub, don't dislike, no! Aww. For those of you still here, Spartacus is a very tanky and very resilient type of Berserker. He's able to take the hits, keep himself alive, and hit back just as hard, especially when you level him up. Though his level keeps him on the lower end, if you have no other Berserkers that you can trust, Spartacus will definitely survive if you play him out correctly. Eric Bloodaxe. His scream itself is memeable, but his damage output is pretty good. It helps that his Noble Phantasm hits through defenses and evasion, so no matter what,
you're gonna get these heads!
That's right. He's also good for farming, which honestly that's what I use him for, alongside my other typical farming mates. Leonidas. A more defensive option, but his inclusion here will make more sense once you get his strengthening quests. His 3rd skill gives Buster up to the entire party for 3 terms, starting at 15%, and max gives 25% Buster performance. There are not many people out there who can give a party-wide buff like this, especially for 3 terms. He's a worthy investment, for sure. Let's move on to our gold options. Heracles. One of the free options you get when you start Fate Grand Order. Heracles' rarity does not represent his power level at all. Honestly, he's a 5-star servant in 4-star clothing. All of his skills are selfish, so he won't be helping the team directly, but he will be helping you make the opponent dead. An evade, a guts, and a power-up that makes him a strangely evasive type of tank, like a missile being shot from a stealth fighter. On top of that, if you get his bond level to 10, which is a feat, but if you do, he obtains 3 additional guts. 3. My goodness. Wow. Ibaraki Doji. This is a personal favorite of mine for many reasons, one of which being that when I first lost my original JP account, this was the first SR to answer my summons on my backup account. Listen, don't bully my banana only, y'all. Anyway, she has a fantastic skill set and a great Noble Phantasm. She can heal herself and clear debuffs with 1 skill. She can buff the team for damage and her own Noble Phantasm damage, and even increase her own defense with addition of damage cut. Her Noble Phantasm lowers defense on hit, so you can start a chain with the Noble Phantasm and you just go down with the rest of a Buster Brave chain. Seriously, do not sleep on Ibaraki, and maybe give her some candy too. Lancelot. The other 4-star Berserker from Fate Zero is the standard for sweeping away waves of enemies in the daily quest section. With a quick Noble Phantasm, you may recall that I mentioned that he would be good at a quick team for his Noble Phantasm alone. However, a Buster team is his true home where he feels the most comfortable. Berserker Star's weight is low, so if you have a different class in your team, Lancelot won't get them. Oh wait, he has an app for that! A skill that draws all those stars right to him. Fancy that! Regardless, he fits right into a Buster team, especially when you're trying to kill your hands. Frankenstein. The adorable yet terrifyingly strong Berserker from Fate/Apocrypha fits a similar role to Lancelot, being very good for sweeping and farming. However, her skills hurt her ability to be useful in other situations outside of farming. What's worse is her Noble Phantasm stuns her the next time a la Jeanne d'Arc. That being said, her third skill puts her over the top for Noble Phantasm damage. This puts her over Lancelot in a lot of ways, where his Noble Phantasm only increases his physical strength, not Noble Phantasm strength. So if you use her, make sure you put her Noble Phantasm at the end of the chain, or in a final wave of a battle. She is super cute though. I just noticed that there are a lot of Berserkers that don't have the rest of Noble Phantasms. What the fuck? And let's change that! With the budget and the SR options out of the way, let's get to the ideal options if RNGesus is on your side. Cuculain Alter. You know I couldn't talk about Buster teams without mentioning one of the kings of Berserkers himself. Nina would kill me. Anyway, y'all know the deal with him by now, but just to go over it, Q-Alter boasts a very high damage count along with evasion and guts, making him a resilient threat and well worth the rarity. He is not limited, and if you defeat America, he will be in the story banner. If you're not already saving for a certain saint. Speaking of, Jeanne d'Arc Alter. I hope all of you that stayed for Jalter got her, because after this event, there is high chances that she won't be back for another year. I'm slaving for Jalter! Yes, I know! All dead memes aside, the Altered Savior does a great job living up to the hype. The bulk of her damage comes from her third skill, and the fact that she does raw, neutral damage against all classes. Her numbers are high, and she can even increase the strength of your team. She remains highly used on the JP size, thanks to, him. Kentucky. The original strongest servant in the game so far is honestly a bona fide boss killer. His Noble Phantasm ignoring defense and causing stun makes him essential for those who need a strong boss killer. He's in the top 4 of the strongest servants stat-wise in the game today, so don't turn your nose at this golden Berserker. At this point, the list of potential Buster servants is rather long, so I'll give a few names of servants that can work with Buster teams. Me, Valterra, Arturia, Mordred, Lancer Arturia, Arturia Alter, Gilgamesh, Francis Drake, Santa Alter, Arjuna, Karna, Nikola Tesla, Elizabeth Bathory, Fergus, Hector, Steno. No. Martha, Childgood, Oda Nobunaga, Brynhilde, Beowulf, Amakusa Nightingale, Rama, Minamoto no Raiko, Kiyohima Lancer, Martha Ruler, Tamamo Lancer, Gawain, Arturia Lancer, Ilya von Einspern. Okay, I think you get the point. Your options are limitless when trying to make a Buster team, and you have a few setups you can make. You only have to decide on the style that you wish to fight and what you're fighting against. What do I mean by this? Well, single targets, wave clearing, and Buster critical. Single targets is self-explanatory. A servant that excels in choosing one target and making sure they're deader than dead. Kentucky, Q-Alter, and Heracles fits into this category. Wave clearing, once again, is pretty self-explanatory. A servant with a Noble Phantasm that hits the entire field, nuking them like it's World War III. Saber Alter, Eric Bloodaxe, and Elizabeth Bathory suits the style of combat. Oh, and Arash. What, you don't believe me? There's a reason why he's a great farming servant. Brings a whole new meaning to Kamikaze. The last but certainly not least is Buster Critical. Essentially, you take the star generation normally found in quick crit teams and pair them with busters to deliver massive damage. Jalter is one of the poster childs for this style of combat, as she has skills that increase her critical strength directly and has passive that are crit focused. Combine this with the fact that Merlin, who comes out at the end of the year, has an insane buster buff, and that is putting it simply. And he gives critical stars every turn with his skills. You get crap like this. Ow. Now, a part of you may be saying, Merlin made that possible. Yeah, no shut and fit. The point is, the category is embraced fully by this combination. Heck, Victor of the Moon helps make it even more possible, combining limited over 0 with a lesser craft essence to make a bomb waiting to be armed and explode on your foes. Whew, that rhymed. Speaking of craft essences, nice transition. You're welcome. For general use, you can't go wrong with limited over 0 variants. Even better if it's limit broken, but if you don't have that type of luck, Verdant Sound of Destruction and the Black Keys work just as fine. For those focusing on Buster Critical, as mentioned, Victor of the Moon is your bread and butter. If you're worried about your servant dying too early and they're not Heracles or Quartz, Volume and Hydra Gyrum should do the trick. Actually putting this on Quartz or Heracles makes them more dangerous than ever. Think on that combo, if you will. Want your Noble Phantasm to do more damage? Heaven's Field and Black Grail are great for this task. Those are the 5-star options at least. The lower rarity ones also work fine if you're in dire need of this effect. As for limited craft essences, Halloween Princess gives Noble Phantasm gauge and Noble Phantasm damage, so you're combining the best of 2 craft essences in one. If you miss it the first time, there should be a rerun of the event coming soon. Oh, and Kaleidoscope Best craft essence memes, lol. So if you look at the screen here, you'll see that I have a couple of the servants lined up together that actually pair very nicely together, at least until Merlin comes out. So go ahead and take a look at these and let me know what you think. Honestly, put it down in the comments down below. I mean, this is just thrown together for fun, but I'm pretty sure there's some pretty savvy masters out there that can tell me some awesome Buster teams. Why don't you share that? Some servants and craft essences to look out to make your Buster team sing a cacophony of pain are Cleopatra, Ishtar, Enkidu, Miyamoto Musashi, the First Hassan, Shinjuku Archer, and of course... And that's gonna do it for another episode of how to set up your team. Let me know what you thought about this whole process. I'm glad we finally got all additions done, but as you know, a lot more services have come out, so that means we'll probably have to make an update video on this. Do you guys even want to see that? Why don't you let me know in the comments below as well? At any rate, my name's Musaki from Chaldea Gurus, logging out. Thank you for watching another video of ours, fellow masters. If you liked it, please leave a like or comments. Subscribe if you want to see more, and definitely ring that bell to be notified when we upload next. Special thanks to our patrons on the screen, and especially special thanks to DevenLuca, Lucky Number 5, YasashiiFuyu, the voice of Sanchez, Tristan Conner, Zamian347, Outlaw, Black Knight 21, Reeniko, Ravenly, 182, Merlanda, Project Shion, and NelCelestine. You masters are truly amazing. Now good luck and fight hard.